Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about episode 4 of the Korean drama When Life Gives You Tangerines. If you haven't seen the previous episodes yet, check the description below for the links. Alright, let's jump right into the story. At the beginning of the episode, the market has just closed. Kwon-sik gently helps Aesun put on her shoes. Aesun says to him, "Why is your grandma always behind me? You and I are not that different. You're a fish seller's son, and I'm the daughter of a dive hunter. You're not some rich prince." Kwon-sik doesn't say anything and just listens quietly. Then the two of them start walking home together. While they're walking, it's really cold. Aesun puts her hand into Kwon-sik's pocket to keep warm. She says, "Spending time together doesn't mean we'll fall in love. I'm only here to learn business from you, not to marry you. And why would I marry you anyway? You live on this island, and I'm from Seoul." Kwon-sik replies, "But that shop was your uncle's, and it wasn't even in Seoul, it was in Gyeonggi." Aesun says, "Well, if there's Gyeonggi here, there's sea near Seoul too. My parents died in the sea, so I'll never marry someone from here, especially someone who doesn't even understand poetry." Kwon-sik stays quiet again, so Aesun says, "Say something at least." "I feel like I'm talking to a statue." Finally, Kwon-sik says, "Take your hand out of my pocket and go put it in some Seoul guy's pocket." While they're walking, Kwon-sik's grandma and mom are watching them from a distance. Grandma says, "Let your son marry this girl. You don't seem to dislike her." His mom replies, "Mom, I never go against you. You already know that." But Grandma warns her, "How do you know she won't run away in the middle of the night like you ran away with my son?" The men in this family go soft when it comes to girls. Kwon-sik's mom tries to calm her down and says, "Kwon-sik is still young. He'll hang out with her for a bit and then move on. He's only helping her because he feels sorry for her. He won't marry her." Back with Kwon-sik and Aesun, they reach the fields. Aesun sees the fish he brought and says, "Wow, we're lucky again today. If you didn't feel sorry for us, we wouldn't even have this." Kwon-sik responds, "If I felt sorry for someone, it would be a beggar." Aesun says, "You used to give me your leftover milk and bread at school too. I've gotten used to it." Kwon-sik says, "You really think I've been giving you fish for 10 years out of pity?" Aesun asks, "Then why do you do it?" Kwon-sik asks back, "Do you think I've stayed by your side for 10 years just out of pity?" Aesun says, "Then tell me why. Why are you always around me?" Kwon-sik looks around nervously. Aesun tells him, "Don't look away. Look into my eyes and tell me. If you keep giving me fish and never say anything, I'll just think it's pity." Suddenly, Kwon-sik stops, kisses and says, "Now do you get it? Would I kiss someone I thought of as a beggar?" Aesun gets surprised and says, "This is how you confess feelings? You kissed me on the nose." Kwon-sik says, "I don't want to live with my grandma anymore. I want to live with you." Aesun gets a bit shy and says, "First you kiss my nose, and now..." Kwon-sik interrupts and says, "You keep talking, and I just keep staring at you. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But tell me this. If you don't like me, then why do you always walk around with your hand in my pocket? And why are your lips always so shiny?" Aesun shouts, "I wear lipstick every day." Kwon-sik asks, "Why?" She replies, "For you." Hearing this, Kwon-sik becomes quiet. Aesun softly says, "I've been waiting for this moment since I was 14. And finally they kiss. After that, the scene jumps forward to the year 1993. Aesun is now middle-aged and sitting at home, watching a reality show on TV. Her daughter Gum-myung asks her, "Was Dad your first love?" Aesun replies, "I don't know." Then Gum-myung asks, "But you must remember your first kiss, right?" Just then, Aesun's son Eun-myung says, "Shameless. Who asks their mom stuff like that?" Aesun looks at her daughter and says, "Do you know the smell of mustard flowers? It's really strong. It feels like it makes you dizzy." Then a young girl and Aesun's husband enter the house, but we don't get to see the husband's face. The girl says, "I'm hungry," so Aesun goes to the kitchen to cook something for them. While cooking, she quietly says to herself, "If I had known the real spring of my life was outside this house, I would have lived it fully." Then the scene goes back to the past. Aesun and Kwon-sik are standing in the mustard flower fields. Aesun tells him, "I still won't marry you." Kwon-sik becomes nervous and his legs start to shake. Embarrassed, he says, "I just worked out too much today." Later, when Aesun comes home, she is super happy. She starts singing and dancing around the house in excitement. While dancing, she begins looking for her younger sister. But when she opens the wardrobe, she gets shocked. Inside are her stepdad and his new wife, hiding. They've just gotten married. Aesun overhears them talking. The new wife says angrily, "Why should I take care of your dead wife's daughter?" The stepdad tries to calm her down, But she shouts, "Why are you scared of her? Is she the queen of the house that she gets to do whatever she wants?" In the next scene, Asun goes to her grandmother's house. Her uncle says to the grandma, "You raised her family all these years and now she's come back. She knows we're poor now and live in a hut. She should work and send us money. But no, she wants to stay in that useless man's house." Then her grandmother asks Asun, "Do you really want to go to college?" Her uncle gets even angrier and says, "Don't tell me you're giving her all your savings." The scene flashes back to that same morning. Asun sees her stepmom taking down her mother's photo from the wall. Asun is furious and says, "How dare you take down my mom's photo?" The stepmom replies, "Why should a dead woman's picture be in my husband's house?" Asun tells her younger siblings, "You helped her take down mom's photo. You sold yourselves just for some ice cream." Then she tells her stepdad, "Give me my money. I'm leaving this house forever." The stepmom says, "How shameless. You took money from this girl?" The stepdad says, "Minak, what are you saying? I didn't take anything." But Asun says, "I worked so hard for you. You promised that if I raised your kids, you'd pay for my college. I even grew and sold cabbages for money. Why won't you give me what you promised? You even swore on my mom's name." Minak shouts, "This man doesn't even have a single rupee. How can he give you money? Go figure something else out." Then winter comes. Asun's uncle says, "You should be responsible for your own life. Go to Busan and work. You'll get training and they'll even pay you. But send us half of that money. We really need it." Asun, feeling broken, says, "Mom was right. It's better to be born a dog in Jeju than be born a girl." Her uncle says, "If you won't go work, will you just sit around here?" Asun quietly says, "I won't be a burden. But if I die while still breathing, Mom will cry a lot." Asun's uncle says to her, "Your mom isn't even alive now. What's the point of all this? No place in the world is going to welcome you with open arms." Hearing this, Asun runs to Gwansik, crying. She asks him, "How many rooms are there in your house? Can you stand up to your grandma for me?" Gwansik is surprised and asks, "Why are you crying?" Through tears, Asun tells him everything. "I have no home now. You're the only one who truly cares about me." She breaks down in tears. Then Gwansik recites a poem to her. "Even silence has its own language. Love has its own identity. Love is not a habit, it's devotion. True love isn't as fickle as waves. A broken heart isn't as playful as waves. A heart that easily mends is not truly a heart, and not worthy of love." He remembered this because Asun once told him she would never marry a man who didn't know poetry. Crying, Asun says, "You know poetry, but what about my dream? What about college? I wanted to be a poet." Gwansik replies gently, "I can't promise to give you everything, but I do promise to always make you happy." Asun lightly hits him and says, "At least lie to make me feel better. Say you'll give me the moon and the stars." Gwansik hugs her and says, "I'm sorry, I just can't lie to you." Then, still crying, he softly begins to recite the poem again. Asun hushes him and holds him close. Next, we see Asun and Gwansik meeting in secret with their things packed. They check and carefully put the jewelry they brought from home into their bag. Asun says to him, "If we leave now, we can never return. If you're scared, this is your chance to back out." But Gwansik replies with a soft smile, "These 19 years, I've never felt this happy before." Then he kisses her. In the next scene, they're on a ship. A man comes to check everyone's ID cards. Asun and Gwansik stay quiet. They don't have any ID. The man asks, "If you're adults, show me your ID. Why are you sitting in the corner looking so scared?" Gwansik gets nervous and tries to give him a ring as a bribe, but Asun stops him. She bravely says, "Fine then, throw us into the sea if you want." Her courage gives Gwansik strength. He stands up beside her. The man gets angry and asks, "Why are you acting so bold? Who even are you?" Asun lies and says, "We're husband and wife. If we were minors, would we be married?" Then she walks away holding Gwansik's hand. Later, they go to a jewelry shop in Busan to sell the jewelry they brought from home. But the shop owner gets suspicious and asks for their IDs. Asun calmly says, "We forgot them at home." After reaching the jewelry shop, the shop owner says, "I knew it. These are stolen, right? You two are thieves." But Gwansik quickly explains, "We're not thieves. We just ran away from home." Later, they go to a small motel and tell the owner, "Someone stole our wallets and IDs." They give him a ring and ask if they can stay in a room. Just then, the owner's wife comes and says, "Oh, you just got married, right? Are you here for your honeymoon?" Asun says yes, and the lady happily gives them the room key. Gwansik is surprised. "You're giving us a room without money?" The lady replies, "It's fine. People from Busan have big hearts." In the room, Asun asks Gwansik, "Why didn't you tell your grandma about us? Are you scared of her?" He says, "I'm not scared. I just didn't want her to trouble you. She asks, don't you feel bad for leaving running behind? Gwansik smiles and says, I wasn't good at it anyway. I only did it for free milk and bread. He then says he'll work at a factory and Asen can go to college. Asen tells him, I want to marry you because you're honest. I know you'll never break my heart. Gwansik quietly moves his bed a little away. Asen teases, why are you putting your bed so far? Meanwhile, Gwansik's mom visits Asen's stepdad's house and tells Minok, I heard she ran away wearing your clothes. She even gives Minok a paper to write down what Asen was wearing. Minok lies and says she doesn't remember. Back at the motel, the owner's wife brings them free food and drinks, saying again, Busan people are generous. At the same time, Gwansik's mom goes to Busan and files a missing complaint. The next morning, Asen wakes up and Gwansik returns to the room. Suddenly, a bill slides under the door, charging them for the room, food, and drinks. Gwansik says, that lady said everything was free. They check their bags, but they're missing. They tell the motel owner, maybe another guest stole them. Did this happen in other rooms too? But the owner says, stop making excuses. Pay the rent. They ask him to check with his wife. She arrives and says, you didn't bring any bags. You came empty-handed. She even asks her daughter, who lies and says the same. The wife then says, let's call the police and report that you're runaways. Gwansik and Asun go quiet out of fear. At the police station, Gwansik's mom is filing a complaint, still looking for them. Back at the motel, the owners tell Asun and Gwansik to leave. Asun asks, if we didn't have bags, why did you give us a room then? The owner angrily says, let's wait for the police and your family from Jeju. Then we'll see. Gwansik says, how do you know we're from Jeju? Our boarding passes were in the bags. Asun cries and begs, please return my stuff. My mom's only photo was in that bag. The lady says, what proof do you have that we stole it? Leave before we get serious. We might even sell you both. They're left with no choice and walk away. Sitting outside, Asen tells Gwansik, we shouldn't have trusted those free offers. We're like those kids in the story, fooled by the witch with chocolates. Gwansik asks, what happened to those kids? Asen says, they pushed the witch into the oven. It had a happy ending. That night, the motel owner's wife tries to target another girl. Asen and Gwansik quietly jump the wall and sneak into the motel. They whisper through the girl's door, nothing here is free. If you sleep, they'll steal everything. Don't turn off your lights. The girl listens and keeps her lights on. The motel owners go to bed, thinking nothing's wrong. Asun and Gwansik make a plan. Asun says, first look for my mom's photo and that gold frog. If we don't find them, we'll take their cash box. Gwansik is scared, but when Asun calls him baby, he gets brave. They sneak into the thieves' room. Not finding their stuff, they take the cash box and try to leave. On their way out, Asun spots her hairpin on the thief's daughter. She takes it back, but the girl wakes up and screams, waking her parents. The couple runs, but the owner's wife grabs Asun and starts choking her. They shout, give us the cash box back! Asun tells Gwansik to run, but he instead throws the box down and punches the owner. Asun headbutts the lady, and the episode ends there. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a comment below. Hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode. See you in the next